Woodbine at Mohawk Park. The gates fly from the beautiful Niagara Escarpment in Campbellville, Ontario. In 2018, Woodbine Harness Racing moves to its permanent home at Mohawk Park, where the best harness racing in North America goes down all year round. The action begins with $200,000 per night in purses, 4 nights a week, full fields, exotic wagers, award-winning broadcasts. It's your opportunity, harness racing at Woodbine Mohawk Park. You gotta play here.
Hi, I'm Jaimi Fellows with the Harness Racing Update, and today we're at Tomiko Training Centre in Campbellville, Ontario, and we're talking 2-year-olds with Anthony MacDonald. Out of your 57 2-year-olds in training, you do have a few first crop offsprings. You have 2 Sunshine Beach 2-year-olds. What are your impressions of them?
Sunshine's Finest was just kind of in limbo. You know, he did his work and didn't really wow anybody. Well, he wowed me today. He looked fantastic training today. And Sunshine Inn was a filly that you could tell she had a ton of speed. She was very well-bred, maybe our best-bred horse in the barn. She is a powerhouse and looks fantastic on the track. So the Sunshine Beaches, in all fairness, I wasn't really that high on them when I started with them, but they really turned it around. And I keep saying it again and again and again. It's all about the work ethic and the attitude for me. And both these horses now are real workers, and they enjoy. When you turn them in, you don't have to ask them twice, and they really do their work well. So I love them both.
What can you tell me about your Sweet Lou babies? You have Quartz Blue Chip and Springbridge Proud.
So, well, Quartz Blue Chip, we got the horse with Tom. I bought the horse in Harrisburg. When I went to originally look at this filly at his farm in the summer, I crossed her off because I really thought she'd go for too much money, and I really didn't think we'd have a shot at her. So I looked her over and made some notes, but you know, it was more in passing than anything. And it in the sales, it's weird. To be honest, the reason I think she only went for $35,000 was. At that time of the sale, it was very late in the second day. People were tired. In the sale, you could literally see people were gone. And the audience was literally gone. And I think it was just timing. You know, she was in a really bad spot. She was in a great spot for me, but a bad spot for him. And we ended up picking her up. She's got a really, really nice gait. She was a little cranky when we first started her, and James went with her today, and I was a little surprised. I can't remember who I had, but I was finishing up in the lead, and I heard somebody come screaming up the inside of me, and it never dawned on me until he blew by me that it was her, so I was really, really impressed with what I saw with her today. The other colt, he had a hernia, so we had to slow down with him around Christmas time. And he's done his work very, very well. And, you know, I'm always shocked at the amount of people that watch what we do. And Mark Weaver and Mike Buscemi bought a piece of this horse. Ron Burke bought a piece of this horse. They, of course, had Sweet Lou, so they have a vested interest in seeing the horses do well also. And then Adriano Sorello bought a piece of them also. So who's who of harness racing owners. There's a lot of weight on our shoulders with that colt, but he's done everything right so far, and he looked good again today. And I haven't gone with him in a while, but I think I might go with him next week.
What have you learned so far about your 2 Uncle Peter colts? You've got Friggun, Biggun, and Oh So Pine.
You know, they're both very, very good-looking colts, been 2 different sides of the spectrum right now. Friggun Biggun has spent a great deal of his training on the run. And he's got a nice gait. I think it's just maturity, you know. He's just, at some point, the horses have to understand what they're doing and then want to do it. And he's at neither just yet. But he's just a slow learner, if you will. But I see the gait is there and the talent is there, and the rest will shine through. I'm certain of that, because he's not an ignorant horse. He doesn't have a bad attitude. Might be stupid, but he's not an ignorant horse. And then you get the other side of the spectrum, Oh So Pine, who had a slow start. He was making breaks earlier on in the fall. We put the hobbles on him, and now he's one of our best horses in the barn. A horse that I actually paid a lot of Grand Circuit stuff into. Just a very talented colt, loves his work, and very, very fast. So Friggun Biggun, I can't really say much about him. I know that he'll get there. It's just going to take a little longer. And Oh So Pine, he's a beast. He's a really, really nice horse, so I really like him.
Overall, you have a diverse group of 2-year-olds here. Let's talk about some of your standouts. First up, we have Arvika. You got out of the Lexington Select sale for $57,000. Kind of seems like a high price for an unknown sire and dam. It's first crop Trixton filly out of Margie.
As far as Trixton as a sire, I've only had one. I can tell you, I'm right in love with her. As far as the first foal out of the mare was a good racehorse. So obviously, and then when you look back at the second and third dams, they're loaded with talent also, all the way back to Armbo Leader. So $57,000 really wasn't that much to pay, and it showed up really quick. This filly has been a standout since day one. she's a powerhouse. She loves to beat up on horses, and she's quick on her feet. She's as quick as a pacer on her feet. And for me, all things equal, if she trains down and stays sound, I think I'd be a little heartbroken if this filly wasn't a filly that turned some heads, because she is a beast.
Autumn Wings you got at Harrisburg for $25,000. This is a Somebeachsomewhere filly.
Yeah, she's been a tremendous filly for the past 5 weeks. She's trained great. And the one thing I keep commenting on to people is, and I said it to you earlier, when you see a horse tired, then you really get to see what they're made of. I've never seen her tired. So I'm really excited to see how this filly is going to continue her training. She's very, very impressive, and I got really high hopes for her.
Moving on to Maintenance Man, Lexington Select Sale, $35,000. This is a Bettors Delight colt out of Double Flip, the one you've paid into quite a few stakes already.
We did, yeah. Maintenance Man looked like a good horse. Like, when you look at horses, it's nice to say this one's pretty or that one looks athletic. This horse looks like a linebacker. Like, he is a big, strong boy. And we got him home. Everything he's done since day one just screams athlete. And he's always trained good. He doesn't wear a boot. He wears a nice long hobble, and he accelerates really quick on a small track for a big horse. This horse we gave $35,000 for, and I think he's a really nice horse. So he's one of our strongest horses in the burn. And as I said, Ontario is our strongest jurisdiction, and I think this is our strongest Ontario bred for sure.
White Tiger you got out of Harrisburg for $22,000. This is a muscle massive colt out of Just Not Into You.
He was a stubby little bugger. He was bad. He didn't want to do his work, and not that he was ignorant. He was just playful. But he's a 1,000-pound horse. He's not a little boy. He bounced around, and we finally gelded him, and it was like an immediate light switch went off, and he was a different horse. He was training really, really well. The one kicker about White Tiger was we had toe weights on him, and he ended up getting up into his elbows, which a lot of trotters will do from time to time. Not going this slow usually, but as soon as we took the toe weights off him, he dropped down about 2 inches, and he's trotting perfectly now. He's showing some flashes of real talent, but he's a really nice colt. He's another colt that we actually paid into a lot, so I got real high hopes for him for a number of reasons, but he is a really talented colt so far.
Who's your favorite brother?
It's never Mark. Never Mark. Mark is never my favorite brother.
If you weren't in horse racing, what would you be doing?
I don't know. If you had asked me 8 years ago, I'd say a cab. I don't know, but probably politics. Now I really liked it when I was involved, and I guess probably politics.
Any predictions on who's going to win the Ontario election this spring?
It better be the Conservatives. I think we're all in trouble. I would say the PC party will probably do it. They seem to. They've been very, very good at shooting themselves in the foot, but I think they'll probably win the election this year, yeah.
Where's your favorite vacation spot?
Jamaica.
Your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
Snowboarding, I think. When they race down the hill in the snowboard, I like that.
How often do you dye your hair?
Once every 35 days max.
Could you survive without your wife?
No, definitely not.
What inspires you?
My inspiration is my surroundings.
What is the single best piece of advice your father, Freddie, has ever given you?
My father said the same thing my grandfather said, I think, at one time, which was, you're only as good as the people around you. And that works in business, that works in your personal life, that works everywhere.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I have many superpowers right now, so if I only had one, I would have to give a few away. Superpower would be being able to read people's minds. Yeah, that would be it.
You're a big movie fan. What's your favorite movie?
I always loved Days of Thunder. I don't know why. I don't mind Tom Cruise, but I always loved that movie.
So if we made a movie about your life, who would play you?
I don't know. Will Smith? I don't know. I have no idea. I would want to play me.
Okay, and the last question here I have is the toughest of them all. It's a math question. Okay. If an international flight leaves at noon, what time do you have to be at the airport to get on that flight?
Minimum 10 a.m. You have to be there, and I would definitely be there at 9:50 at the latest. And for the people out there that know me, I'm early for everything.
Thank you for having us here at Tomiko Training Centre. We're with Anthony MacDonald talking about his 57 two-year-olds.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. It's always a pleasure to have you here. You're welcome whenever you want. Next time, maybe dress a little more industrial, and we'll put you to work cleaning some stuff. I know you know how to do it, so next time you're out, make sure you bring your boots with you.
Harness Racing Update is the sport's most comprehensive and trusted news source and the fastest growing publication in the game. HRU has you covered with award-winning features and commentary from some of the sport's best writers. Stellar photography, race news, results, entries, handicapping, and video replays. The industry's most comprehensive sales results and Harness Racing's best reader feedback section. And it's all delivered free of charge to your email box multiple times each week. See why HRU is the most trusted news source of the sport's most important people from all facets of the industry. Subscribe today for free. To subscribe, just go to harnessracingupdate.com and then click subscribe for free.